When your instrument is powered up for the first time, it will ask your region to determine the proper measurement conditions. But before using the instrument, be sure the selection conforms to your print standard or a client's special requirements. From the Home menu, swipe to the right to User Settings. The instrument can be configured for multiple users, each with their own unique settings and tools. The lower left corner shows the name of the current user profile. Tap the My Settings button to view the settings for the current user account. To change the name of the account or other settings, tap the Account button. Here, we can change the user name, the color of the icon, and set a password if needed. See the User's Guide for more details on passwords and security levels. To change the user name, tap on the Current Name button and tap Clear. Type in the new name and tap OK. After you are done with the user account settings, tap the Back button to return to the main settings screen. Language, color, and functions all have defaults based on the language and region that was selected on the instrument's first use. Any changes here will become the new default settings for any new tools configured for this user account. Changes will not affect the settings for any previously configured tools. Most of the options under the color defaults are specified by print standards. Be sure to refer to your print standards before changing any of these defaults. Other settings are based on your specific needs, such as if you want the instrument to indicate a pass or fail on a reading, or if you need to change the press ink sequence, which is needed for calculating ink trapping. The instrument has a feature that allows you to set measurement conditions, which conform to ISO filter requirements. Do not change these settings unless required by your print standard. If you need to change the settings from the default, tap the Measurement Conditions button. If your measurement requirements call for a UV cut filter or polarization, you can select that here. If you require measurements to be based on the M1 measurement condition, D50, then you will need to select this setting. You will also need to set the filter switch on the front of the instrument to position 1. Here we can configure the defaults for each of the device functions. For example, TVI, also known as dot gain, is measured differently under different print standards. If your requirements are to measure TVI only at 50%, you can change the defaults to do this. Set the first tint patch to 50%. Then turn off the second tint patch and the third. Instrument settings are used to configure system beeps, power save options, and screen directions for left or right-handed users. After you've configured one user, it's easy to set up additional users. The device can also be set up for different print standards or different requirements for different shifts or different users. This button is used for selecting and adding user accounts. The highlighted button shows the current account in use. If you have more than one user created, simply tap the username to select it. Tap the plus button to add a new user. Type in the name and hit OK. To configure the defaults for this user, tap and hold the user name until this window appears. We discussed the account settings and the user name earlier, but now we also see two more buttons. The trash icon is used if you choose to delete a user. If you need to create another user with settings very similar to an existing account, you can tap this button to duplicate a profile. The new account has all of the settings as the account that it was copied from. Now you can make any changes that are needed for the new account.